Hey everybody, welcome back to Electrified Reviews. My name is Mitch, and this is the brand new Rift from Ride1Up. The Rift is their first foray into the fat tire market, so let's head on into the review and find out how they did. This right here is the Rift from Ride1Up, an e-bike that's as fun as the name implies. This electric stallion boasts a beefy 750-watt AKM motor with 95 Nm of torque, an LG 48-volt 20-amp-hour battery, and a pair of 4-piston hydraulic brakes that grab onto the 180mm rotors with the force of a polar bear. Something I noticed was the brand new Ride1Up logo, and it makes sense that they'd unveil the new look with their first fat tire e-bike. With a 1-year warranty and a price tag of $18.95, this is a value-packed e-bike, a ton of bike for only 19 Benjamins. For all the detailed specs and to see our advanced compare tool, head over to electrifiedreviews.com to see how the Rift stacks up against the competition. Powered by an AKM rear hub motor with a whopping 750 watts output with 95 Nm of torque, the Rift is more than ready to take you on those uphill battles. It's a Class 3 e-bike, so you'll be zooming up to 28 miles per hour, and the Rift offers both throttle and cadence pedal assist, so you can choose how to conquer the road or trail ahead. The Rift is equipped with an LG 48-volt 20-amp-hour lithium-ion battery, packing a hefty 960 watt-hours. With around a 5-hour charge time, you'll be back on the road before you can say, "I love my new bike," if you take 5.5 hours to say that phrase. The estimated range is between 40 to 65 miles, so to do the math on it with 960 watt-hours, you can expect an average distance of about 48, which is pretty darn impressive and right on par with what Ride1Up says. The Rift's frame makes this an upright body position with a very comfortable ride. So this bad boy weighs in at 85 pounds and has a standover height of 19 inches with a reach length of 15 inches. It can support up to 350 pounds with 150 pounds of cargo capacity. It features attachment points for fender bosses and the integrated Connect Plus system for the rear rack. Also, we're reviewing the step-through version of the Rift, and they also offer it in a standover version as well. The Rift's front fork features 120mm of travel and a lockout feature, which, paired with these fat tires, makes this thing very comfortable on flat roads and absorbs a ton of the roots and such from off-road trails. Speaking of those fat tires, the tires we have here are Kenda 26-inch by 4-inch tires with an aggressive tread that handles dirt and gravel well. It'd be cool to see some sidewall reflective stripes here, but if you're not riding at night, that shouldn't be a big deal. The Rift also has this medium comfort saddle, and the saddle is comfortable. It fit my sit bones pretty well, so no complaints here. When it comes to stopping power, the Rift does not mess around. It's equipped with KBN 4-piston hydraulic brakes and 180mm rotors on both the front and the rear, ensuring you come to a quick stop whenever you need to. Trust me, these brakes will have you stopping on a dime and giving 9 cents change. And I'm not really sure what that means, but when I wrote it down, I just committed to putting in the review, so there it is. The Rift features an 8-speed Shimano Altus gearing system operated by a Shimano trigger shifter, giving you the versatility to shift gears easily while still having a firm grip on the handlebars. When I was riding this thing around, I found that the gears, they were smooth, responsive, and they allowed for quick and easy gear changes, and sometimes you have to make a few minor adjustments when you assemble a bike. But right out of the box, it was lined up and ready to roll, which indicates that it was probably tuned up before they sent it out to me and then it was packaged well. Now this e-bike comes loaded with extras, including integrated front light and rear lights. The rear lights have a brake light integration, so the tail light turns on when the brake levers are depressed, and it does so whether the front light's on or not. This is an excellent safety feature to see, and we wish we saw it on more e-bikes across the board, honestly. It also comes with front and rear fenders, a 4-amp charger, and a rack bungee. Now the rack bungee has a metal hook on the bottom, and although I think this looks awesome, we'd probably recommend going with something like a strong plastic just to avoid scratching this awesome rack. With the Connect Plus integration, you can add seats, baskets, all sorts of cool stuff to customize it for your use case, and that's pretty dope. Let's talk about the Rift's cockpit, where all the action happens. The handlebars have a comfortable, ergonomic feel to them, and you can just tell it was designed with the rider in mind, right? I know that's what all the e-bike marketing says across the whole board, but this felt like it was tuned to, a human supposed to be riding this bike. The grips we have here are double locking, meaning that there's going to be no play in these grips, and as this being the main point of contact with you being on this bike, I'll say it again, we think that's pretty dope. The colorful KD218 display is easy to read and provides all the essential information you need, such as wattage, battery, speed, pedal assist level, trip, odometer, max speed, and average speed. Now this is my first time using this display, but I really like it. Simple enough to not feel overly complicated, but it shows a ton of useful information. I think this is a solid display, and I'm glad to see it here. As for the controls and other attachments on the handlebars, they're designed to be user-friendly so you can keep your focus on the road or trail ahead when making adjustments on the fly. Now, who is this bike for? The Ride1Up Rift is perfect for riders looking for an urban/off-road/adventure e-bike. Its versatile nature makes it suitable for various types of terrain and riding conditions. With its well thought out geometry measurements of a 15-inch reach and a 19-inch standover height, the Rift accommodates a wide range of riders. So whether you're a daily commuter, weekend warrior, or an off-road explorer, the Rift has got you covered. If you're looking for a high-performance e-bike that can effortlessly transition between urban streets to the off-road trails, the Ride1Up Rift might just be the e-bike for you. Now we've talked about the specs and who this bike might be for, so now let's take it outside for the ride test and see just how the Rift handles. Hey guys, Mitch again. Just wanted to jump in here real quick to remind you that we relaunched our website. You can head over to electrifiedreviews.com and create a free account. Now, why would you want to use our website? Well, we have a couple of tools that are gonna help you narrow down the right e-bike for you. We have an advanced search feature, so if you wanted to search for something with hydraulic brakes or fat tires or full suspension, you name it, you can search across our entire inventory of e-bikes that are listed online. And by using the website, it's also gonna be helping us out so we can keep bringing you guys these awesome reviews, similar to the one you're watching right now. All right, guys, we're out here for the ride test on the Rift from Ride1Up. Let's go ahead and hit this throttle and I'll get going. Now the Rift shifts as a Class 2 e-bike, meaning that both the pedal assist and the throttle will take you up to that 20 miles per hour, which for most people is plenty fast enough. As you guys can tell on this channel, we like going fast. Me personally, I like going fast. So sometimes 20 miles per hour can be like, oh, I wish we could go 28. But if you're looking to stay, legal in a lot of places, having to ship it a Class 2 bike makes a lot of sense. So we're out here, we're riding around on the trail, but that's not what this bike was meant for. Do a little off-road. Now the front suspension and the fat tires do a really good job of absorbing a lot of those ruts and bumps and all that sort of stuff. Now there isn't any rear suspension, but doesn't mean we can't have a good time with it. Now some of the things that you can't see or you can't experience on a direct-to-consumer bike have to do with the ride test. Like how does it feel? How does it handle? As far as like handling, this thing feels very maneuverable, especially for something with those fat tires. And something with fat tires, generally handles a little bit, leans more towards the moped than the regular bike. But as you can tell, we got plenty of maneuverability here. Let's go off-road back here on this side. You guys didn't think I wasn't gonna go off in the woods, did you? And it looks like the trails are dry enough for us to scoot around a little bit, so let's see what she can do. And that rattling you're hearing back there, that is the kickstand. So this is something where you were gonna go off-road and do some crazy stuff. You might wanna look at either detaching it or throwing a little strap on there, something like that. I'd probably lean a little bit more towards just taking it off myself, but there's probably options. Like I said, handles really well. We're just cruising in and out of here. One of the things we hadn't talked about, I'll probably get to some more open spaces before we really test them out, are these quad piston brakes, which are absolutely fantastic. So as you can tell, we can handle quite a bit of off-road in here. Now this isn't something you necessarily want to take on jumps or anything like that, but it is nice to know that you find yourself in the woodsy part of town. You can find your way back to civilization, just like that. Now that we're back out here and no one's behind us, let's go ahead and test out those brakes. Go ahead and hit that top speed, 20 miles per hour or so. We can't do it on an uphill. Some of you guys would notice that, but like, oh, that's not a true test. And we won't do it around the corner. So let's just keep rolling. Now, as far as motor noise goes, it's very on par with all of the motors that are in this class. So nothing crazy to mention there. Let's go ahead and kick around this corner. As advertised, as promised, let's do some quad piston braking. In 3, 2, 1. Man, that's about 10 feet right there. Just super grippy. I feel like I've got the power to stop this thing on a dime. Go ahead and As if I didn't do enough brake drifting in the intro video, do a little bit more of that here. Woo! Guys, I could do that all day. I could do that all day. Probably wear through the brakes a little bit quicker. Probably do a little bit more maintenance on it, but I just enjoy it. Let's go ahead and head up this hill. And let's head down. Woo! Like I said, tons of maneuverability here. Super duper easy. All right, let's pop up this hill. And guys, that's probably gonna do it for the ride test. Wanted to give you a chance to experience what it is like to be on the Rift from Ride1Up. If you guys got any questions, reach out. We're here, that's what we do at Electrified Reviews. All right guys, we'll catch you on the next one. In summary, the Ride1Up Rift is a versatile, powerful, and stylish e-bike that offers an exceptional running experience for urban and off-road adventures alike. With its powerful motor, long-lasting battery, and top-notch components, the Rift is a great value at $18.95. For all the specs and to compare the Rift against just about any e-bike out there, head over to electrifiedreviews.com and we'll catch you on the next one.